Hey, level casters. Today's lesson takes us on a fascinating journey back in time to a period that completely changed the world we live in. The Industrial Revolution. Imagine a time when life was very different from today. Most people lived in small villages, working on farms or making things by hand. There were no big factories, no fast trains, and certainly no internet. It was a quiet, slow-paced existence, deeply connected to nature and the rhythm of the seasons. Families often worked together, producing everything they needed right in their homes or local communities. This era, before the big changes, was known as the pre-industrial period. Goods like clothes, tools, and furniture were all made by skilled craftspeople, one piece at a time. This meant things were expensive and took a long time to produce. Transport was slow, too. People traveled by horse-drawn carriages or walked, and goods moved on carts or boats along canals and rivers. News traveled slowly, and most people never left their local area. Think about how much information you get every day from your phone or TV. Imagine a world without any of that. This was a world without mass production, where every item had a unique, handmade touch. But this way of life, while perhaps charming in some ways, also had its limitations. Famines were common if harvests failed, diseases spread easily, and life expectancy was much lower than it is today. People worked hard from sunrise to sunset, and comfort was a luxury. The seeds of change were already there, however, waiting to sprout and transform everything. We're going to explore how a series of inventions and new ways of thinking completely turned this world upside down, leading to a new era of machines, factories, and bustling cities. Get ready to discover how this revolution shaped our modern world. The spark for this incredible transformation began in Great Britain in the late 18th century, around the 1760s. Why Britain? Well, it had a few advantages. Firstly, it had a lot of natural resources like coal and iron, which were essential for the new machines. Coal was needed to power steam engines, and iron was used to build those engines and the new factories. Secondly, Britain had a stable government and a growing population, which meant there were both workers and people to buy the new goods. Another key factor was the spirit of invention and innovation. People were curious and eager to find better, faster ways to do things. One of the very first and most important changes happened in the textile industry, making cloth. Before, cloth was made by hand, slowly. Then, inventions like the spinning jenny by James Hargreaves and the power loom by Edmund Cartwright came along. These machines could make thread and weave cloth much faster than any human. Imagine one machine doing the work of many people. But these machines were big and needed power. This led to another crucial invention, the steam engine. James Watt improved an earlier design, making the steam engine much more efficient and powerful. Suddenly, factories didn't need to be next to rivers for water power. They could be built anywhere there was coal. This was a game changer. Factories started to grow, especially in cities. People moved from the countryside to these new industrial towns looking for work. This shift from handmade goods to machine-made goods, and from rural life to urban life, truly marked the beginning of the Industrial Revolution. It wasn't just about new machines, it was about a whole new way of organizing work and life. The world was about to speed up in ways no one could have imagined. As the Industrial Revolution gained momentum, the changes became more intense and widespread. Factories multiplied, and industrial cities like Manchester and Birmingham grew rapidly, becoming crowded and smoky. While the new machines brought amazing productivity, they also brought significant challenges. Working conditions in these early factories were often very harsh. Workers, including many women and children, worked long hours, sometimes 12 to 16 hours a day, 6 days a week, for very low wages. The machines were dangerous, and accidents were common. There was little to no safety equipment, and the air inside factories was often filled with dust and fumes, leading to health problems. Housing in the rapidly growing cities was also a major issue. Many people lived in small, overcrowded houses with poor sanitation. Diseases spread quickly in these conditions, and life in the slums was tough. However, alongside these difficulties, there were incredible advancements. The steam engine wasn't just for factories, it also revolutionized transportation. George Stephenson developed the locomotion number 1, the first steam locomotive to carry passengers on a public railway. Soon, railways crisscrossed the country, making it possible to transport goods and people faster and cheaper than ever before. This connected different parts of the country and helped industries grow even more. New ideas in chemistry and engineering also emerged, leading to innovations in steel production and other materials. The world was becoming smaller and more interconnected. The pace of change was breathtaking, transforming landscapes, economies, and societies at an unprecedented rate. This period was a true climax of innovation, but also of social upheaval, as the benefits and costs of progress were unevenly distributed across society. The Industrial Revolution didn't just end, its impact continued to ripple through society, shaping the modern world we inhabit today. By the mid-19th century, the changes were undeniable. Britain had become the workshop of the world, producing goods for global markets. Other countries, like Germany and the United States, soon followed, starting their own industrialization processes. The revolution led to a massive increase in the production of goods, making many items more affordable for ordinary people. This meant that things that were once luxuries, like certain types of clothing or household items, became more common. It also led to the rise of a new social structure. The old system of lords and peasants gave way to a society with a growing middle class of factory owners, merchants, and professionals, and a large working class who toiled in the factories and mines. Over time, people began to demand better working conditions and fairer wages. This led to the formation of trade unions and new laws to protect workers, including restrictions on child labor and limits on working hours. The focus on scientific discovery and technological innovation that started during the Industrial Revolution has never really stopped. We are still living in a world of constant technological advancement, from computers to artificial intelligence, all of which have their roots in this transformative period. The Industrial Revolution fundamentally changed how we work, live, travel, and communicate. It created the foundations for modern capitalism, global trade, and the urbanized world we recognize. It was a period of both immense progress and significant social challenges, and understanding it helps us understand the world around us.
That was a great story about the Industrial Revolution.
Yes, it was very interesting.
I learned so much about how things changed.
Me too. Those machines sound amazing.
The spinning jenny and the steam engine were so important.
They really transformed how things were made.
And how people lived, moving to cities.
Yes, the cities grew very fast.
But working conditions were quite hard, right?
Absolutely. Long hours and low pay.
It makes you appreciate modern laws.
Definitely. Safety and fair wages are so important.
And trains changed travel forever.
Faster transport helped everything.
It's incredible how one period shaped so much.
It created the world we live in today.
I found it very easy to follow.
The story was clear and engaging.
We should learn about more historical events.
Good idea. History is important for English learners.
That was a great lesson.
I agree. Keep learning, Levelcasters.
That's all for today. Keep it up, and we'll see you in the next Levelcast lesson.